Just give 1 second we have visual displays for the entire board. Just give them 1 second to get here. I only have 5 minutes, so I have to use every second. I'd like to thank the teachers and the students here supporting to give you visual aids of the hazardous walking conditions in Hillsborough County, Florida. It shall be considered hazardous walking condition with respect to any road along which students must walk in order to walk to and from school. There's not a 4-foot wide adjacent to the road, not including drainage ditches, sluice ways, swales, or channels. The Florida state definition of road means any way open to travel by public, including not limited to street, highway, alley. The terms include sidewalks, roadbeds, right-of-ways, culverts, drains, sluices, ditches, water storage areas, waterways, embankments, slopes, retaining walls, bridges, tunnels, viaducts, and maintenance. That's how the state of Florida, not Josephine Amato, how the state of Florida defines hazardous walking conditions. Here before you, I want you to see East Bay High School. East Bay High School, from Coventry Village, any grassy area along an uncurbed roadway in Hillsborough County, Florida, that is a county road, is a drainage ditch. It is not a 4-foot wide walking area. Any tar pavement is tar. That is a roadway defined as a hazardous walking condition. At the end of this roadway of that grassy area is the drainage ditch that's big enough for a human body to fit through. That is defined as a hazardous walking condition all along the 2-mile area of East Bay High School. Here we have Rogers Middle School. I have 3 areas of Rogers Middle School so you can understand. This is an aerial view of Rogers Middle School where it is completely surrounded by drainage ditches on the only roadway in and out of Rogers Middle School. There is also an uncontrolled crossing area to get to Rogers Middle School. That uncontrolled crossing area to the front door of Rogers Middle School does surpass the 360 cars during the time students travel to and from school under Florida statute. That is a hazardous walking condition. I want you to see in Rogers Middle School the children walking along the drainage ditch next to cars. If they trip or fall, they will get hit. That is a drainage ditch. There's a gate there so they don't fall and tumble and drown like the student that did there, so they don't die. Please come, I'm sorry. That is Armwood High School. Armwood High School. Okay, the hazardous walking condition statutes is for the entire 2 miles from your front door where the public road starts to the very first door of the public school. That entire roadway is a drainage ditch. There's not a sidewalk. There's nowhere for the children to walk. That meets Florida statute for hazardous walking conditions. The next school I would like to do is Wharton High School. I've been talking about Wharton all year long because this is the entrance to Wharton High School. I want you to see the grassy area is a drainage ditch. Oh, and if they can do the leap over the construction, then maybe they'll get to the entrance of their school. That meets Florida statute of hazardous walking conditions. The next school I have is Leonard High School. Leonard High School, 21st Street. All along the street, you will see a picture of a student walking in the middle of the road because the grassy area next to the roadway that has no sidewalks is a drainage ditch. What happens to drainage ditches in Florida when it rains? They fill with water. So where do the students go? They go in the middle of the road next to the cars. That is why, Ms. Valdez, your students that you spoke about last week at the last school board meeting are walking in water because they're walking in drainage ditches, which is defined as a hazardous walking condition according to Florida statute 10062.23. The next school is Alonzo High School. I can go all day long. We have 66 schools, but I only have 5 minutes. Alonzo High School, one uncontrolled crossing spot where 360 cars pass within the hour, another uncontrolled crossing spot, another uncontrolled crossing spot, another uncontrolled crossing spot, where during the time students travel to and from school exceeds 360 cars during those hours. That is qualifying for a hazardous walking condition. Please give our students a safe school bus to school. There's also drainage ditches. There's no sidewalks to that school. Armwood High School is on the end. Same thing, Armwood High School. There is not a sidewalk. They are walking in drainage ditches. They are walking along the roadways. All of these are hazardous walking conditions, not according to Josephine G. Amato, according to the state of Florida. At the Student Transportation Working Group, Mr. Beekman said, we will provide safe school bus transportation for our students that meet the Florida statutes. I have pictures for all 66 schools. They meet the statutes. If you want to say it's not because of hazardous walking conditions, that is inaccurate. If you want to say it's based on their age, that would be accurate. If you want to say it's based on something else, that would be accurate. Potter and Mort, they should have a school bus to school. They qualify for hazardous walking conditions. I'm going to work with Potter this week in order to take pictures of that. So this is the evidence. Thank you very much. Thank you so much.
Thank you.
Board members, back at the board meeting on March 6th, I want to ask the superintendent and our transportation team to start looking at analyzing the bus route locations that are currently considered funded busing for our elementary students. The intent of this request is to allow the team to work for a full year before any implementation happens as we move into a new bell schedule next year, analyze and respond to any situations that may come out of that concern, but giving our transportation and safety team plenty of time to effectively implement this for the 19-20 school year. It would be in everyone's best interest to allow our staff to plan a rollout and the general public and family, students, and time to adjust. During our transportation committee working meeting last week, we did also discuss the possibility of a slower, more managed rollout that could be discussed versus the rollout process that we use for middle and high school students. If issues arise that there is not adequate staff to handle this project, I think that consideration should be given to hiring an outside consultant to help complete this work. The savings, once implemented, certainly would pay for any consulting services to lift this off the ground, as this is $3 to $5 million savings just sitting waiting for us to implement.